Obviously, you are just one game away from the NCAA tournament. How big is this for you in just your second year here, and just how big is it in terms of maybe getting student support here, maybe trying to fill up the game? So, just how big is like this kind of a seminal moment for your program thus far?
You know, it's. I think it's great for our university. It's great for our program. It's great for these guys that are in there that work so hard every day that you're allowed to. But, you know, it's the next game on our schedule. We got to keep getting better. I didn't think we played our best basketball over the weekend. I think we were kind of getting used to John being back in the lineup, John being back in practice. And I think we still have a ways to go. And I told you, I'm going to say it again. We got to keep tapping. We're not there yet. But we're getting close. We're getting close. We just need a couple more guys. We need everybody in. Everybody needs to contribute in some way. But I think for our program, this is great to have a game on campus. It's unfortunate that everybody's going on spring break. Hopefully some people can rearrange their plane ticket or their train schedules or their rides home. But I think it's going to be awesome, man. And hopefully this sets us up for years to come because we have a bright future. We have a lot of good freshmen on this team, and we got some really good juniors and great leaders. So it's going to be exciting.
And you talked about tapping that stone that we all know so well.
You guys are sick of that stone. I'm going to show you it one day. I'm going to show you.
It's real?
Yeah, I have a little stone that I picked up at the Cape.
Is that stone going to be cracked or maybe shattered at all with the win on Saturday, or will it take a 116 kind of upset to really crack it?
I'll tell you what, it would have to be a major win, blowout for me to crack it. And I know Stony Brook, I know Coach Peichel. I don't foresee that. The way they played last weekend, they played extremely hard and with a great confidence. So I expect it to be cracked, but maybe not broken.
Looking at UNH and maybe Hartford, a big thing for them is their toughness and their athleticism, where sometimes they don't win necessarily just with their big players. For Stony Brook, is it necessarily that same toughness, or is it also their athleticism that makes them such a talented team?
You hit it right on the head. I mean, they're as quick as us, they're as big as us, they're as tough as us. It's going to be a really good matchup. I mean, I'm watching tape on them. They remind me a lot of us. They got a good big man. They got a good three-point shooter. They got quick guys off the bounce. It's going to be a great challenge. I think we're on level ground right now. Throw away the records. The records don't matter anymore. I mean, they were going through a lot. They were trying to piece things together when Britton went down, Chris Martin went down. They were mixing and matching, playing a lot of freshmen. And we had our thing too. Jeff went down, and he's still not right. And Jake's out, and Travis and all his broken noses, and Dom and his situation. So these are two totally different teams that met during the regular season. So it's going to be an interesting day on Saturday.
You mentioned Jeff. He didn't get any playing time on Sunday. Will we see more of him against a Dallas Joyner who's more of a bruiser rather than athletic?
Well, I hope so. Jeff pulled a groin, so I didn't play him. They had a little swelling in that area. So I didn't play him because I didn't think it was fair to put him out there. He was only about 75-80%. Now, we did a shoot-around that morning, and I was watching him. He just wasn't moving like he had UNH. He looked great. He looked like his old self again. He looked like he was back. And just in the second half there, he moved some crazy way, and next thing you know, bang, he's out. So we're hoping to get him back. I'm hoping he practices today, Wednesday? So tomorrow.
John's a man of many words, as you know.
We're working on that.
Yeah, it doesn't tend to elaborate that much, but I mean, as this coach, what do you think this would mean to him, to get this, to his resume? I mean, he has all the honors, he has all the individual accolades he possibly want from a player. What do you think?
I think he would give all that away for this. I think he would. He might not be able to articulate that. And I think he truly wants this more than anything. Player of the Year is nice. First team honors is really nice. But to have this, to be here, think about what he's done for this program. All the points he scored, all the rebounds he has, all the minutes he's played. And to end it hopefully like this would be a great thing if we could get over the hump. And if we don't, he's still good. His legacy has been left. He's going to be one of the greatest players to ever come through these doors.
And about a month and a half ago, you all were 10 and 13.
Is that what we were? 10 and 13?
Yeah.
What did we start out? Was it 4 and 5? Were we 5 and 4? What were we?
4 and 5.
3, 5 and 4.
Oh, yeah. And then I think 2 days later, the news came out about Drake being done
Yeah.
rookie season.
Rock bottom. There's rock
How's
bottom.
your team kind of galvanized and come back from all that to win 10 straight, which is the third longest active streak in the country?
It was. I think it's them. And they were tired of losing, and they were tired of just not getting it done on the road. And I think everything just came to a halt. All right, here's where we are. We don't have Jake. So now we got to move on. Everybody's got to step up. DJ, step up. Dominic, step up. Trav, Mike. Because we already know what you're going to get from John Holland. And Darryl really stepped up his game, I thought. And then Matt Griffin has been such a constant all year long. And now you're starting to see a confident Pat Hazel. Scary, but exciting. That's why I say we got to keep tapping. We're not there yet. How about we get all 5 guys, or all 13, all 11 were suit up. How about we get all of them going at the same time? We haven't had that yet this year. Maybe UMBC, maybe.
These guys have seen 10 minutes of Chris Martin this season. Obviously, he had a huge weekend. What does he bring to the table for Stony Brook that you haven't seen from the team in that first 2 games?
His ability to get to the basket, his ability to make free throws, his ability to set up his teammates, his toughness. He is a tough son of a gun. And I talked to him before the game out at there, and I could see he was still hurt and maybe not in the best shape. But you're starting to slowly see Chris Martin, and I obviously, his leadership. He's a senior, and I think he's the only senior, right? Who's playing major minutes last weekend?
I think Danny Carter.
Okay. So, but Chris Martin has that, that personality to really push and drive, and he was the difference this weekend, no doubt about it.
How do you match up against him?
5 guys versus the ball. So when he has the ball, we all have to be loaded. We all have to be in our stances. We all have to be head turning, and we just got to be prepared for anything. We just can't let him drive it down the lane. We can't just just foul him, just to put him on the free throw line. 5 guys, team basketball. It's not one guy versus another. It's all about BU basketball versus Stony Brook basketball.
Do you potentially play a little bit bigger if he continually drives?
No, I think our little guys are tough, and I think they've shown it. Anytime Matt Griffin gets 7 rebounds, 8 rebounds in a game, it shows me a little something. And I think DJ's, he's tough too. Even though he hasn't gotten the 7-8 rebounds, he's in there mixing it up with the bigs.
This week, Corey's back in practice. Is he maybe taking on that role in the second team?
No, you know what? Corey's not back. You're only allowed, NCAA-wise, you're only allowed an occasional practice. So he was just in there shooting. But he helped us out a while ago when we were really down and out. And he came in and gave us some leadership and talked to the guys. And it was nice. It was nice to have somebody come back and say, hey, got to work harder. And he gave us that little extra push right after the UNH game, which was great. Because they were both on the bus. Weren't you on that bus? Corey and Carlos were on the bus. So it was cool.
And how do you all look to contain such good 3-point shooting like Stony Brook with guys like Dew or guys like Hayes? Like, how do you all really look to kind of how to up your perimeter defense?
Yeah, it's going to be hard. We're a 3-point field goal percentage defense. We're pretty good. We're pretty good. It's going to be a challenge. We just got to keep them off balance. We got to speed them up. Make sure that they don't get too many open good looks, because once you give a great shooter an open good look, then they get confidence, then they're feeling it, and next thing you know, you're in big trouble. So we got to speed them up. We got to get to their feet. We got to get to their make sure everything's not in rhythm. And if we can do that and make them put it on the floor and drive them off the 3, I think we're all right. Put them in situations they're not comfortable with.
Coach, all season long you've been stressing looking at the next game is just the next game. No extra strings attached, and with such a young team. It's kind of amazing, especially recently, how easy you guys have made that look. But I asked Pat behind the scenes just how difficult it is with a young team like this. If you could explain just how tough it's been to try and get that mentality in their heads that this is just another game for them.
It's hard. I mean, they know what that weekend was. They know if we can get 2 wins, we go to the championship. I mean, everybody knows that. But we got to keep them level-headed and just keep them thinking about 40 minutes of basketball, not winning or losing. Because once you start thinking about winning or losing, then you're not going to play to the best of your ability. But if you're thinking about BU basketball and you're thinking about playing hard together and doing all the little things that we need to do, then I think you'll be okay. But if we just take this one game at a time, and that's our mentality, it gives us our best chance to execute and be the best team we can be that day. Whether that's good enough to win, I'm not sure. But hopefully it is, and we can be the best team we can be.
Is there any big difference between the way you approach this postseason compared to last year, and more specifically this game coming up, the championship?
Yeah, I mean, we had seniors last year, and they were mature. As a matter of fact, I think the middle game, or the middle day, which is today, I let the captains run practice and let them do some shooting. With a young team, no chance. They get their day off Monday. They do their cold tubs. That's what I wanted them to do. But I got to keep driving them. I got to keep pushing them, and that's what we're going to do. And hopefully we get to live for another day.
Big statistical key to this 10-game run has been how often you've been able to get to the free throw line and keeping the opponents off the free throw line. With John and Daryl, it seems like at the end of some of these games, they've been really aggressive and focused on getting to the free throw line. How do you push them, or is that just in their heads about when they need to get to the free throw line?
It's just really what presents itself. I tell them, you take whatever's available. You know, don't get me wrong, we're stressing getting to the foul line. I think everybody knows that, especially everybody in the America East. I think that's why Hartford played so much 1-3-1. They were trying to prevent us from driving the basketball, and it worked for a little bit. But then we started to figure some things out. We still drove it, and we got to the foul line. And I think Stony Brook could throw that little wrinkle in as well. It's just more feel, your feel for the game. If you got a three, stick it. If you got a mid-range, stick it. If not, if you see an alley or a little lane, drive it hard and see what happens. And I think everybody's doing a pretty good job. We're getting the right guys to the foul line too. John, Daryl, Griff, DJ. Although Pat went 6 for 6, we can't deny that. He's been working extremely hard on that. But I was really proud of him for that. I got to be honest with you. Something I've been on him about since July, when I told him he had to shoot 100 free throws a day. And he did it, and it's starting to really pay off now in March.
And that has progress of guys like Matt, guys like Daryl, and the guys like Matt has that really been a big key for this team in the 10-game streak?
I totally think so, because Daryl's been in foul trouble, John's been out for a game and a half, and we have some freshmen. And when Matt Griffin's making some shots and Pat Hazel's rebounding, and he's shooting over 50% now. He wasn't doing that in January. So he's really upped his game. He's playing with great confidence. They both are. And it's no surprise they're our captains too. So it's great to see everything come together for them. And I expect them, that's them yelling in there. That's not our coaches, that's them. And that's where this program is headed. And that's why I'm excited.